signal to the world that we are open for business.
Dreaming of crystal clear waters, pristine beaches, and a life less ordinary, Landco Pacific beach towns turn those dreams into reality. Whether you're seeking a beachfront haven for your family, a stunning investment property, or a tranquil escape to unwind, Landco, pioneering landscapes for more than 3 decades, offer idyllic destinations crafted for a life well lived. To tell us more about investing at Landco Pacific Beach Towns premium developments, 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏 and CaSoBe, to name a few, we have the pleasure of having with us Mr. Erickson Manzano, President and CEO of both Landco Pacific Corporation and Millennial Resorts Corporation. Eric is a visionary leader with a deep understanding of the luxury real estate market and a commitment to creating exceptional beachfront communities that are environmentally friendly and unique. Welcome to Open for Business, Eric. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Cesar, for being here.
So far, one of the most interesting things that I realized was this study by Knight Frank's 2023 Wealth Report. It says here that the Philippines is a significant emerging market for luxury residential property, and we have a growing affluent class. We were talking of Cam a while ago, especially during the pandemic. That was a realization also where people spent a lot of money. I never realized during that time that people will buy luxury cars, watches, they spend on travel, or they invest in a lot of things. My question now, Eric, is what has changed in the behavior of consumers after the pandemic?
So, Cesar, during the pandemic, there are a lot of bad things that happened. Pero the good that came about it was that, diba, for 2 years, you had nothing but to think about your life, diba?
Correct.
What is important, no? So, you were locked up for 2 years, parang thinking, no, I could be gone soon. What am I gonna do with all these possessions? Diba? I can't bring it with me. Diba? It's that realization, and that's why I think people started buying mga properties and a lot of luxuries, no? Because that's one thing that the pandemic taught us, no? The life is fleeting, no? You know, you have to treasure every day. Now, funny thing for Landco's, from Landco's experience, no? Actually prior to 2021, okay, our highest sales year ever was 2021. Oh, but now it's last year, no? Pero back then it was 2021. It was right after the pandemic.
Exactly.
Yeah, diba?
Oh, I remember March 2020, there were lockdowns already. And your highest sales was
2021.
The following year.
Yeah, so I think because people were locked down, they had a lot of time to think, no, what's important ba in life? And you know, ako personally, no, what is really important in life? My realization was really family, no. Spend as much time as you can with your family, which I do up to now, no. My family's often here, no. That to me, I think is the most important. That was the best realization I think I've had during the pandemic.
But when we look at this market, especially when I attended this forum of the PCCI, the government has made a lot of initiatives to attract foreign investors. They also identified key priority areas there. I think mining, agriculture, food, and tourism. We see that pre-pandemic are coming back. What's your outlook on that? Will this continue? And is this also the reason why we're here? We see this new development and more developments to come?
Yes, the Philippines is beautiful. No? I don't say this to brag, but I'm very much well traveled. I've been to 71 countries. I've actually been to Antarctica. So I've traveled a lot. No? I will tell you flat out, and not because I'm Filipino, but the Philippines, in terms of beaches and natural settings, this is one of the most beautiful places in the world. I just came from Phuket last weekend. No? I just arrived. I'm telling you, this country, in terms of mga tourism spots, is world class. No? This is world class. Now, ask ourselves, no? At our peak, we got like 7 million tourists. No? Thailand gets like 27, 30 million a year. We're getting 7. Why? And I'm saying, we're not only competitive versus them. We speak the language. We're as hospitable.
Yes.
well, okay, admittedly, they have fantastic food, but we speak the language. Our beaches, maybe I'm biased, but our beaches are better. No. Okay, so
But
from a
why
Filipino,
now? But why now? Why are we getting lesser visitors?
Okay, so I think firstly it's really the infrastructure, no? The lack of infrastructure. Like for example, our international airports, their provincial airports are even better than our international airports. So it's that. I think that's the first thing that we need to address. No? Make it easy for the foreigners to come here. It's in our nature then to be hospitable. You go abroad, you see so many Filipinos in the hospitality industry. Because it's natural for us to be nurturing. We have that inner talent, no, na parang in customer service orientation, no? And then we have magnificent nature dito. It's just that it's difficult to come here. Yeah. So now, so infrastructure. Well, that's for mga foreign investors. So, pero for Filipinos, well, like for example, this place, CaSoBe. You're like 2.5 hours away from Manila, no? And then you have
surprisingly, yes, because after a few hours you're here, and you will not realize that didn't even have to go to the airport to reach here. But my question, Eric, is that you've traveled around the world already. I'm sure you have seen a lot of areas. You've seen a lot of inspiration, but in this case, what's so unique about this place and the developments? What inspired you? Open for Business has been lucky to also feature other developments, and sometimes they're influenced by Hawaii, mga iba-iba pang mga lugar sa sa buong mundo. In this case, I see and I feel a different vibe as well. But right from the horse's mouth, what is your inspiration?
Siguro for me to properly explain that, if you could give me a few minutes,
Okay,
I'd like to explain parang how this place came about. Okay. So firstly kasi, let's talk about Landco for a start. So Landco, back in the 90s, prior to Punta Fuego, Mr. Pangilinan, Manny Pangilinan, was already a minority owner of Landco. Back in around 2017 in particular, he kind of gave us money lang to finish this boardwalk, the boardwalk that you see here. The original design of this boardwalk, this used to have like kiddie places and fountains. This boardwalk, okay.
It's parang promenade style.
It was a promenade style. And then, after that, he wanted to basically close down Landco in 2017.
Because?
Times then were bad. We, the current Landco team at that time, we were looking at this place now. Despite how beautiful the beach is now, you build a nice boardwalk. Who is gonna drive 2.5 hours to come here, enjoy the boardwalk, and drive 2.5 hours back? Who's gonna do that? Nobody. So we knew that people needed a place to stay, but we didn't have money back then. That was back then. So what we did was, from the original budget, we shaved off a third of it. We downgraded the boardwalk, which you see now. We took out all the fountains. And then we built the first 11 cabins that you see here now. We built the first 11 cabins back then. Now, the inspiration for these cabins, I saw similar structures back then in Tulum, Mexico, many years ago. When we were looking at the data, because a well-managed hotel, your EBITDA is in about 30%. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. Your EBITDA is about 30%. When we were looking at the first 11 cabins, our EBITDA was in the high 40s, in the high 40%, So we realized this could be a business, So from the first 11, we now have 33, and then we have now the cocoons, We have like 18 cocoons. We're putting up another, the Apollo, and we have the glamping tents cupola. So that all started here, and more importantly, from winding us down, 2022, MVP bought the entire company. So we are now a wholly owned subsidiary of Metro Pacific. Our chairman is Manny Pangilinan.
So that was also a journey. But with that journey, Eric, what is the overarching inspiration of that? I know that somehow when you come here, you look here and then it has a different vibe, and then just a few meters away, wow, you see a different development. What is that theme that unifies the whole property development?
So the original idea here is that, when you buy property here in CaSoBe, you are literally living inside the resort. That was the main idea. Because, for example, I remember when I was younger, and this is something that I've done, well, throughout my career, I try to sell to myself. I believe, like, for example, I am legitimately the Landco target market. So I try to sell to myself. What do I like? No? And I know, no, probably a lot of things that I like, a lot of people don't like, no? The things that I like, no? But that's okay because we're not building things for everyone. It's just for a specific clientele. Because, you know, one thing that I've realized, no, you have to have a certain market in mind and address their needs, no. Trying to address everyone's needs is the sure way to fail.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't try to please everyone. I've come to that age and I like things to be quiet now. For example, you come here on a weekend, we are 100% occupancy, you will never feel it. I'll tell you we're 100% occupancy. Really? For example,
How come it's so quiet?
yes,
Parang
yes.
ganyan.
And that's one of the things that I love about this place. So that's why we are not dense. No, you could see that the units, the hotel units are far apart. No?
Yeah.
That is really the idea. Now, this is basically a resort. You have a water park here. You have restaurants. No, you have a place to stay. And we started this business because basically Landco's business model is that we will be launching our first condominium in this area in CaSoBe late this year. Now the idea is, because in reality, you buy a beachfront property, 20 years from now, you'd be lucky if half of those buyers actually live in the property. No? You'd be lucky to have half of them in 20 years to live in the property. So what about the other half who's not living? What are they gonna do with that asset? Okay, so we formed this hotel hospitality company, no? Millennial Resorts. We formed that to be able to service that market. Okay, you're not gonna live there? Okay, we'll run it like a hotel for you, no? And then, you know, we're not gonna take a big chunk out of your money. That's your property, that's your asset. Now, when it is serviced like a hotel, that is your assurance that it is properly taken care of, and that, you know, moving forward, the price would appreciate, no? Okay, in a nutshell, we formed our own hotel company to be able to provide our market that service. Now we know it from the heart. We do it ourselves. So from the very start, we already have our property management. That's a typical property management for a, like for example, a village or a condominium. No? We've had that for decades. No? What we formed in 2019 was a hotel management company. That company that manages these rooms. No? So we have 3 locations. Calatagan, 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏𝗏 and Samal Island, Davao. So that is a wholly owned subsidiary of Landco. We run those hotels, and that is a subsidiary that would run eventually the condominiums, the condotels, the leisure residential condos that we will sell in the future. Yeah.
Based on your description earlier, and as we were talking, there is a revolution or evolution of what consumers like, especially after the pandemic. You also discussed briefly on how you transformed. Now that you have this Landco Pacific Beach Towns, how does it align to the vision of Landco?
This is basically my vision for Landco. You have a foreigner friend, no?
Okay.
And then you would tell your foreigner friend, it's beautiful in the Philippines, no? Oh, where beautiful? I've been to Boracay, it's beautiful. We're there, no? Oh, where else is it beautiful? Siargao's beautiful. Oh, we're there too. That is really my vision for Landco.
Okay.
Wherever your foreigner friend would find that Philippines is fantastic, I want Landco to be there, to be able to service those clients. That is my ultimate vision. Probably that would happen long after my time, no? Pero that is the vision. Now, going back to what we have right now, again, no, back to the realization during the pandemic. First is, life is fleeting, no? You have to enjoy it with the people you love as much as you can. And next is, one of the things that the pandemic taught us, you could be productive wherever you are. That is something that the pandemic taught us. You could be working on a beach, you could be, you know,
in the privacy of your room,
we were all locked down for a year. I mean, so many big businesses, even small businesses survived, no?
Yes.
It means you could work wherever you are. Like a couple of months ago, I was having a Zoom meeting, you know, with a VIP. He was in Punta Fuego. You know, I was in Makati. He was just at home, no? And I think moving forward, that is really the evolution of what's going to happen. I don't think we will ever go back to like 5 full days working at the office, 9 to 5. I think that time has long gone.
Yes, yes.
You can be productive where you are. It would be, we will transition into results-based, you know, evaluations, you know. We don't care where you are you productive now? So with that in mind, though, with that direction, we are basically properly placed for what's going to happen. No? Meaning, you could put up an office here and work here and just go to Makati for meetings or meet VIPs or network, but this is basically your base. So now, as opposed to having 2 properties, no, a residence in Manila and a beach house in Calatagan, you could just have one. This is where you work. This is where you also relax. No, that is where the industry is going, and we just happen to be at the right place when it happened.
I'd like to go back to what you mentioned about the customer, your target market. It's basically you. But we know, Eric, that with the consumer now, they're very discerning. The behavior is now different. Can you describe more of the behavior of consumers, and will this continue to grow, especially on this high-end or luxury developments? Will the market grow? And with the increasing affluent markets here in the Philippines, where are they coming from? How do you describe that consumer that are basically the target market or the consumer base of this development?
Okay, if you look at our data, and this is one of the things that I'm quite proud of with Landco. Okay, when you see the profile of the buyers here, for example, you're in a restaurant, so you see a family, you wouldn't think that they were rich. That is the kind of profile that we cater to, and I'm proud of that. No? Those that don't peak up, no, those who are the quietly wealthy,
affluent.
No? Yes. Those are the target market that we seem to appeal to, no? Which I'm very, very proud of. Okay, so
I think they needed privacy. They needed security.
Yes. So the entrepreneurs, I understand that a lot of successful entrepreneurs, they become very rich, no. But for example, for the corporate employee, no, it's very rare that you get to the top, that you're able to afford properties like this. I came from a middle class family. How did my parents do it? How did my parents get to where they were? My dad was born in Ilocos. He used to shine shoes. No, my mom, just was a nanny to my uncle's children. So that's where my family started. How did they get to this? They acquired land. They acquired land. For the longest time, look back, centuries. No, land has been a great store of wealth. No? Like for example, one of the examples I give. No, your million. Let's stash it under your bed. Let's see what you could buy for $1 million 20 years from now. No? Probably nothing. You probably buy a bicycle, no? But $1 million, invest it now, especially in land. Like for example, Punta Fuego, no? Peninsula de Punta Fuego, Landco started selling that in the mid-90s for 4,000 per square.
And now?
Now, look at it. You would not close at 100,000 per square. That was like 25 years ago.
Wow.
See? Wow. So that is the nice thing about land. Now, the good thing is that you are not now forced to buy property in Manila, because times are changing. This could be your only property. A leisure property could be your only property, and you could be productive from there. You might just go to Manila or go to Cebu, or when you have important meetings. But this is where you work. You do your meetings via Zoom. After your meetings, hang out at the beach. I think that's where we're going, and that is also our plan for this place. That you're living inside the resort, and even if we're fully booked, it doesn't feel full.
You mentioned some areas where there's also investments going in, like Boracay, Siargao, Palawan, and here in Batangas. So what's so new about this development?
This development, this is the first estate that I know of that has double piping. Meaning, double piping meaning that we have our own sewage treatment plant that treats the water. We have separate pipes that pipe back to every single lot. Recycled water for irrigation and flushing the toilets. Now, considering that any typical house, 50% or even more of the water you use is really just to flush down the toilet. That is the most water that you use to flush down the toilet. Why are you going to use potable water to flush that? So we use recycled water. Now, it sounds simple, right? I mean, recycle the water and pipe it back. Why is this the first? Why is this the first? Why is it the first? Okay, it's the first because it's expensive to do. You literally
the technology behind it.
Not only the technology, the hardware. I literally need to build my water system twice. It is 2 pipes, to pipe everything. Instead of just laying down 1 pipe, it is 2 pipes. You have separate cisterns, you have separate pumps. It is literally double your water system cost. Okay, but we do it because we understand it is the right thing to do. Now, I asked my team because, funny thing, we've been doing this way before this sustainability thing even picked up steam. We've been doing this already.
Sa UNSDG.
This became popular. We've been doing it before that, but we were quiet. So I was
Pero now, it's a selling point.
Now it's a
diba?
selling point, but now I'm telling my team, let's dial it down. I don't want to talk about sustainability because my point of view, honestly, you know, talking about sustainability is like bragging that you pay your taxes. No? You're supposed to do it. I mean, should I brag that I pay my taxes, right? You're supposed to do it. That's how development should be anyway.
How sustainable is this? And will the other properties of Landco continue this technology and this development?
So the answer is yes, no, Caesar. The answer is a definite yes. Like for example, okay, again, no, this place is double pipe. Not only that, no, if you notice some of our sidewalks, we use pavers. No, the idea there is that when it rains, you know, the water would seep down to recharge the aquifer. So it doesn't go straight to the drainage. No. Our other development in 𝗬𝗐𝗐, called Club 𝗬𝗐𝗐, that is also double piped. That will get a LEED certification. No. This resort is the very first hospitality organization in the country to get the EDGE certification, the Excellence in Design for Greater Efficiencies. It is awarded by the International Finance Corporation by the World Bank. No? This is the first in the country. Okay, so we're doing this. CaSoBe, Club 𝗬𝗐𝗐 is double piped, Spinnaker is double piped, that will also get a LEED certification. So by default, all of the projects that we're doing is really sustainable. No? One of the awards that I'm the most proud of, no, our very first award, no, it was by Pan Finance magazine. It's a London-based publication. No? All right, because back then we never spoke about sustainability. No? We just did it, no? And I don't know how they captured it. Their market research reached out to us. They found out, siguro, in some of the market clippings that we were doing, and then they did some interviews. That was the very first sustainable citation that we got. No? I mean, and we were just quiet. That really made me feel proud. No? We're in the right direction. No?
Going back to architecture, what's the architecture like? You can answer that question, Eric, after these short reminders.
This
to get a great return from their investment, but most of all, we want 30, 50 years from now, they look back, it is still an iconic development. That is really the thrust of Landco.
The greatest destination always has the best story to tell. That is why we at Landco, we take inspiration from our past as we embark on the future that will continue to strengthen our commitment in creating better business and communities. As part of the Metro Pacific Investment Corporation, with its long-standing reputation for business stability and undisputed growth, Landco Pacific will continually create distinctive landscapes of leisure and lifestyle worth bequeathing to the next generations of families while fully enjoying them now. Landco Pacific properties are the consummate investment. Precious, priceless, prestigious, and continually yielding. Our journey, our future. Together, this is our legacy. This is Landco Pacific.
Open for Business is back. Eric, you were talking about the inspiration, about the architecture. Sabi mo nga, sawa ka na sa sustainability because a lot of them joined the bandwagon already. What is your inspiration about the architecture of this place?
The architecture, I feel, though, the inspiration for the architecture should come from the place itself. No? That's one of the things I believe. No? Of course, with your inputs too. No? For example, say this place. Okay, you look at the boardwalk. It is like snaking around. No? It is because, like, you know, these trees have been here way before our time. No? So we designed like the boardwalk to fit them so that we don't need to cut them. No? You see, I mean, from day one they provided elegant shade for everyone. No? So that, I think, is an inspiration. No? You work with the land that you have. No? You do not mold it like a marble.
Right.
you work with what you have. Architecture has a lot to do with taste. You know? I like plants a lot. If you notice, you go around dito, I mean, especially here in the beachfront, it is very healthy in terms of plants. So that's one thing. I think that also relaxes. Now, funny thing that you mentioned architecture, because that is also one of the learnings that we had from our previous projects. Like, okay, even in my previous companies, for example, no, big developers, even Landco previously, you make a subdivision, you would dictate what the architecture is.
Tama.
Okay, now I've realized that here, no, again, no, I'm selling to myself, I'm the target market. If I'm gonna spend like 20 million on a lot, no, I don't want you telling me how my house is gonna look like. Diba? So what we did, our restrictions is basically just on setbacks, on heights, you know. Now, in terms of how you would want your property to look, go crazy. No, I mean, make it modern or old. You know, just build it within the setbacks. You know, you're not a nuisance. The height limits, and of course the sustainable.
So basic
restrictions.
mandatories lang.
Yes, yes. I mean, when you buy a property here, build your dream house. No? What you had in mind. We're not going to dictate the architecture to you. Now, the architecture that we wanted is basically. Just the main infrastructure. Okay, I don't know if you notice the blue roads, no? Okay, so we have blue roads here. Now, why is it that, no?
Why is it blue?
Yeah, why is it blue, no? There are scientific studies. No? Okay, firstly, no, there was a global survey done in 2015, no? 25% of all the people in the world, no, their favorite color is blue. Okay, so first, no, it is a very popular color. Next is, scientific studies also show that blue relaxes you. Now, the beachfront lots, and you have no problem, you see the sea. What about the lots behind? No? So what we wanted to do is that we wanted you to be surrounded by blue, even if you don't have a view of the beach, that you have to walk to the beach. When you look at your window, you see a blue, so there's that feeling of you're surrounded by blue. So that's why our roads are blue. Okay, how is the behavior? Now, architecture is also molded by the behavior of the people. How do Filipinos behave? I don't know, no? Again, I am the market, no? My recollection is that around 4 or 5 p.m., people would go out and walk their kids, walk their dogs. No, that's what people want to do now. If you're walking around, I mean, what are you gonna look? What are you gonna look at? You're gonna look around. No, why do you have to look at just a pole? No, why do you have to look at just a manhole or a regular road? Why no? Why can't it be beautiful? That's why you see the artwork around. No? Because we know that people are gonna walk around in the afternoon. No. When you look down, you see, oh, blue road, oh, nice artwork in the road. That is really intentional. Huh?
Yes.
That's what we've been doing here and in our future projects. So it is all, how would people use it? How do they behave? And again, no, that is also why we started our own hospitality business from scratch. No? We wanted to understand and serve our clients well. No? And we wanted to learn that in-house because you know, customer service is very dear to Landco, no? I don't want to outsource that, no? I want customer service to be from us.
In the advent of digitalization, in the advent of social media, we see a lot of influences. How do you now also make that integration with what millennials like now, with the Gen Zs now? We know that segment is also getting more and more affluent. I know some millennials who also invest in paintings now. They buy their own condos. They also invest. So do you see that market also being influential in how you develop these things?
We have 2 projects in Batangas, one in 𝗏𝗏, one in Calatagan. Okay. This one in Calatagan. My personal money, I put here. Calatagan, not in 𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 far outsells Calatagan. So the market likes 𝗏𝗏 more than Calatagan. But me personally, I'm definitely. Now, why is that? No? When I look back, no, I have memories of Calatagan when I was young. I've never been to 𝗏𝗏 until I worked for Landco. That thing, as beautiful as it is, means nothing to me. This place brings memories. Now, it's not a strategy because I'm actually, you know, I always tell the team, it is such a privilege that we are in the business. This Millennial Resorts, we are in the business of making people happy, of giving them memories. What a fantastic business to be in. It just so happens that kids are involved now. And I think the way that it worked for me, that I have good memories of Calatagan and now I'm here, no? I think that would also affect the young kids now, the millennials. If you had a good memory here, when the time comes that you're rich, hopefully you come back. Hopefully you come home. No. Now, okay, if you don't, well, again, no, from the very start we understood we are not for everyone. If you don't like us, we're okay. I mean, thank you for considering us, but it's okay. That's fine. Because I truly believe you try to target everyone. That is the sure way to fail.
Interesting, Eric. You know, I'm getting new insights here. One CEO also mentioned this in my interview. You can also choose clients. If you don't want that client, never mind. If that client doesn't want you, okay, look for another client. But so far, is that marketing or business strategy working for you? And I noticed, based on this conversation, there's a lot of personal level of commitment that you're putting it. You're putting in tradition, you're putting in memories, you're putting in nostalgia. And the vibe is something that can be felt, diba? Somehow in the world of business, that is something that's waning already. And as a lot of CEOs also tell me, it's all about relationships, families, connections. Do you think this business strategy would sustain the business model of Landco?
Yes, no, Cesar, absolutely. Okay, so we have two businesses. No, one is the real estate development, which developed CaSoBe, and one is the hospitality business, which is Millennial Resorts, which runs the hotel units here. In terms of bang per buck return, okay, a typical developer would make 3 to 5 times more bang per buck in developing a village, a condominium, a housing lot than running hotel. It is a you make 5 times more money, bang per buck, in selling. The hotel business, in relation to that, makes little money. However, this hotel business, you are in the business of making people happy. I don't care if the profit's little, just don't lose money. What I'm after for is that we make people happy. Okay, how do I do that? We've been doing this for years. Every single meeting, I meet my hotel team weekly. First in the agenda, we go through all of the reviews. Google, that is number 1 in the agenda every single week. What good did they say about us? What were the bad? And the bad we handle. That is how important customer service is to Landco. So it's not just lip service to us. It's really, what are they saying? What do we need to change? That is every single week. It will never stop. We have to keep improving. People say a lot of things, but are they really doing it? In our case, we're really doing it. That's really important to us. What are our clients saying? Now, as a business strategy, how can you go wrong if that's your strategy? Your strategy is to make sure that every single person who comes here goes home with great memories. That is a strategy. If that doesn't work, I don't know what else is going to work. But again, I know it's about making money, but it's about making money honorably. I would take a lot less to make sure that they are happy. We make our money selling lots and selling condos, but I love the hospitality business. I'm just sad that I found this industry in my 50s. I wish I was here. That's the sad part. When we opened in 2019, there was not a single employee in Landco who had hotel experience. The only experience we had was eating in restaurants, in hotels. That's it. Nobody had any hotel. Like, for example, Janine, we just hired her late in the 2020s or 2021. There was nobody with hotel experience. So how did we run this, diba? Common sense. What are they looking for? What am I looking for? And then we just designed around that. So basically, what you see here in Landco, it is crafted with me as the client. What do I like? And people like me, people like me who are family-oriented, people like that, and what do they like? And so far, it seems to be successful. Now, my worry is, all companies are just people. So there's also this concern that when the new generation comes in, what's going to happen to this company? So, as early as now, I think I'm going to stay on for at least 10 more years, but our succession is kind of laid out already. I just want this to continue long after I'm gone.
Every business that we operate have this vision, values, and core values. But in terms of that corporate culture at Landco, you're telling me that it's family-oriented, and with you grounded as the first customer, is this something that is also embedded in the corporate organization of Landco? And you mentioned about creating memories. So where, in which areas of the many developments that you have, can you create those memories?
Okay. In terms of the corporate culture, my honest answer is I really don't know, because I understand that, for example, when I'm here, when I'm here in CaSoBe, I already told my team, I know I get the best service here. Of course, I know. So I am not the gauge of how the customer is. That is why every single week I look at the reviews, because I know I'm not getting a similar treatment.
Yes.
I know I'm getting the best treatment, so I want to hear what the others have to say. That is why I look at that. Okay, now maybe in terms of culture, that's what I try to espouse. I'd like to think that that's also how my employees think, but I think the best people to answer that would be people inside and outside the organization, but not me. But that is what I espouse. Okay. For example, in terms of creativity, I got a lot of my ideas from traveling. You know, you go travel, you're not really looking for something, but when the time comes, it's just there. Like for example, here, we need hotel rooms. The ones in Tulum, it's here. So that's why, okay, when somebody applies for a leave, their travel, automatic approved. So, I mean, I encourage everyone, when I see you travel abroad, it's automatic, go, have a good time, just make sure na it's and you know, family time, like for example, when I go on leave, and I do this for my employees, when they file for a leave, I try my best not to bother them, because I know that's quality time. It's the same with me. I tell my team, you know, I'm kind of burnt out. I'm going on vacation. Don't call me unless the building's on fire.
Yeah, come on.
Unless the building's burning, do not call me. I'm with my family. I understand quality time, so. I let them go when the...
And that's where they get a lot of inspiration also. Kasi, di ba, nauso ngayon yung you do two annual reports. One is the financial annual report and the other one is sustainability. And you've won a lot of sustainability awards already. Is this something that is also already part of the corporate organization where you put in that sustainability factor, that you make sure that as we say with ESG, you know, there's environmental, social governance in it, that it's already part of how you develop your key result areas and metrics?
So definitely, especially our mother company, Metro Pacific Investment Corp, their ESG is really rock solid. They've won numerous awards. Okay, so the good thing about Landco is we're actually a private company. Our mother company is public. They do those reports. We as Landco, we just submit what we've done in the sustainable angle, and then we submit it to MPIC and they file the reports. Now, the good thing is that, again, as I mentioned, this thing is really inherent to us. We do it because it's the right thing to do. We believed in it. Even before these awards, we've been doing it, so we're going to continue to do that. And again, as I mentioned, we're planning for the continuity of this organization. As early as now, we've set our succession in place, so that, these are the same values. So I'm trying to really embed the values to the next generation, so that when it's time for me to retire, I hope it's a continuous process. That's really all you could do.
But Eric, looking at you, you're still very young. But as early as now, you do that succession already. But what do we expect? Are there upcoming projects or innovations that you want to? You're just telling me, you'll have 10 years more, but definitely with the vision that you have, the way I feel it, there's more to that. And I think you would be able to contribute more to the community. What do you see in terms of expansion or more developments in the pipeline?
By the end of this year, we have really interesting projects in the pipeline.
Okay.
What I'm really happy about is that, we are not all over the place now. Meaning, like for example, Landco, we launch 2, maximum 3 projects a year. I'd like it 2. The reason being is that I have time to be involved in every single project. We are not like a cookie cutter manufacturing plant issues out projects. No, we really take time. If you look at our projects, the condominiums, so architecturally, they are so different from each other. We try to tailor it to the place, the vibe at that time. So I have, like for example, this chairman's cabin. You could look at the bidet. I have an input there. I mean, I have that time. So we are not after quantity. It is really the quality of the projects. 2 projects a year. Okay. Now, towards the end of the year, we will announce very interesting projects. We're going to have one in Baguio. We're closing one, hopefully in Siargao. We will be launching our biggest project in a couple of years, also in Batangas. No? That thing, well, my inspiration is basically Amalfi Coast. No? I hope. No? So basically, that's the peg. No? So that's the inspiration. So we're very excited about those things. Now, one thing that we could assure the public is that those definitely will be sustainable by default. No? I mean, Landco by default, it's sustainable. You don't need to we pay our taxes too. Okay. And then architecturally, that's what I'm really after. No, I mean, these coming years, I want to win design awards. You know, sustainable. Yeah, enough for that. Okay, design awards and some other awards like, you know, I'd like to win an award like one of the best companies to work for. You know, I would love to have that. No, but we'll see. Our vision is. Where you would take your foreigner friend and be proud of the Philippines, that's where we want to be.
Wow. Well, interesting. I'd like to know more of your management style. How can you describe your management style and how does it contribute to the success of Landco and the company as a whole? Isama mo na rin to. Are you not worried about the competition? I know that you are focusing on that market that has these needs, who wants to create memories, who want serenity, you know, who wants the peace and quiet, who are more private, but you feel them. You know, somehow I have a good grasp now of who your target market is. But that has a lot of things to do also with your management style, because I know it can further grow. But somehow there's a lot of competition, even with the beachfront developments and seaside developments. We see that all over and in these specific areas. So how do you manage that?
I'm a true believer in competition. Meaning, okay, honestly, I don't say this isn't cliche, but we've really felt this. Competition actually makes us better. You know, I mean, it makes everyone better in competition. Since I joined in 2015, it has been the company strategy that we will focus on leisure projects, meaning beach and mountains only. We have long done and we're over with the villages, the city developments. We're done with that. So we've focused on a niche. And I think, when it comes to a leisure development, I think the key is the property itself, the location. That's 50% of the battle. As an example, okay, in 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏, we are very fortunate. Funny thing, well, the E is very popular these days now. There's an area there with white sand. There's an area with black sand in the same town. So geographically, we were fortunate to acquire the land with the white sand. That is 50% of the battle. That is 50. Okay, so you could differentiate all you want, but I think the location is the number one. But I think we've got our eye on certain locations. We're closing right now. So that itself is an advantage. I think one advantage we have is that literally, because companies are again just people. I literally have personal time to look at these projects. I don't know if you look at my competitors, do their CEOs actually look at the projects, or do they just hand it off?
Sign and just delegate. But do you micromanage?
Well, I try not to, but I'm sure some of my people would say I do.
Because you're keen to details. So if you're keen to details, you may micromanage.
Yeah, you know, that is a possibility.
Standard.
I hope I don't, but I believe I flourished in Landco, in this environment, because my boss does not micromanage. My boss gives me targets and it's up to you. Just don't come back with bad news. I flourish in that. I try to apply that in my company, but when I let go, sometimes they make mistakes, so I have to come in. I do my hardest not to micromanage, but I guess sometimes I do. Now, I don't know about my management style, but I think one thing that my employees could say about me is that they know that I'm truly concerned about them. I know I need to get a handle on probably my reactions, because it's not really what I say. You could see in my face. It's really the back. I'm very transparent, but I try not to be. But I'm sure they know that I'm out for their best interest. In a nutshell, maybe my management style is do as I do, not as I say. Do what I do. That's it. That's the best I could put it. Like, for example, I will never tell my team, go inspect the land, walk it in noontime, unless I do it. Every Tuesday I'm at the site. I walk it. I used to be white, man. now I'm dark, because I walk the project site. I don't tell them to walk it if I don't walk it. I don't tell them to climb it and look at the view unless I do it. So I think that's in a nutshell my management style. Do as I do.
Wow, I haven't, asked the long list of questions, but maybe there's an opportunity for us again, Eric, to be back here so that we can continue the conversations. I'm learning a lot, and I'm sure the viewers of Open for Business are learning a lot also, because we're not only learning about this property, we are learning about management strategy, marketing strategy, and if there are tips for professionals, small entrepreneurs, or corporates, executives who want to invest in this kind of property development, when is the best time to invest and where? It's obvious it's going to be here in your properties, but why would they invest in CaSoBe and other developments of Landco?
Well, firstly, the best time to invest in land, in property, literally was 20 years ago. That was the best time. Second best time is today. All right. So land over the centuries have been a great store of wealth. The example I gave earlier was 𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗲. When we launched that project, when Landco launched that project, it was at 4,000 per square. Now, look at Marketplace, Carousel, that thing's going for 100,000 per square. So land is a good store of wealth. Now, why is that so? It could be because of the developer. Landco, we've been around for 30 plus years. Our chairman is Manny Pangilinan. We are backed, fully owned by Metro Pacific Investments Corp. You could see our projects. 𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗲 is our development. CaSoBe in 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗲. Now, what do we have to offer? Here in CaSoBe, and actually even in 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗲 also, you have a sustainable development. That even if we're at 100% occupancy, you don't feel that it's full. It is a nice architectural, sustainable development by the beach. The furthest lot to the beach itself is like about 200 meters. So it is a small, compact development. Again, you could live here and work here. Wi-Fi is good, so you could work remotely from this place. And I think with the developer and the way that we have our own property management, we have our own hotel hospitality outfit, we would take care of your property, and that I think would assure its appreciation over time. Now, between the two, maybe lastly, again, it's the market who dictates. If you want a quiet place, I'd go for Calatagan. If you want a party, well, 𝗬𝗐 is the place for you. So,
Sige, I'll choose Calatagan.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cesar. It's been an honor to be here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.
Wow, that has been one of the most insightful conversations I have ever had here in Open for Business. That's the President and CEO of both Landco Pacific Corporation and Millennial Resorts Corporation, Mr. Erickson Manzano. Open for Business will be back, and later you will see star Kada Team Figueroa trying all the amenities here in this exciting development. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
This portion is brought to you by Northview Solutions. Let us build it for you.
The categories for this year's Asia CEO Awards 2024 are SME Company of the Year, Entrepreneur of the Year, Diversity Company of the Year, Woman of the Year, Most Innovative Company of the Year, Sustainability Company of the Year, Young Leader of the Year, Wellness Company of the Year, Technology Company of the Year, IT BPM Tech Blazer of the Year, Corporate Governance Company of the Year, CSR Company of the Year, CEO of the Year, Service Excellence Company of the Year, Top Employer of the Year. Nominations are now open.
CaSoBe was built to cater a resort lifestyle for anyone who loves to travel, frolic by the shore, engage in water sports and beach activities, or balance life and work life activities, you know? And if you're looking to invest, here's where you can build your dream house or start your business venture by the sea. Dami na namin ginawa simula kaninang umaga dito sa Calatagan South Beach. And to help us explore everything that we have done so far, kasama natin dito si Ma'am Janine. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Tim. Thank you so much for having me. I am Janine Huang, Marketing Communications Manager of Landco Pacific, and I'm so happy that Tim got to visit us today here in CaSoBe.
Yes, so Ma'am Janine, simula kaninang umaga, you were the one who decided what we were gonna do. First thing first sa itinerary, you allowed us to explore the beauty of this place. Can you tell us, what was it that you told us to do unang-una and why was it so?
So, syempre, you're here in Calatagan, right? That's a destination 2 hours just outside of Metro Manila. And the best way to enjoy it is to really enjoy the nature that surrounds Calatagan South Beach. So we have a portfolio of water sports, which I think you got to try today.
Yes.
So we had the banana boat, we have jet skis, we also have crystal kayaks and paddle boats, actually, paddle boats.
And you know, I'm just gonna say this right now palang, the jet ski was probably my favorite.
Oh, really? It's everyone's favorite. It's everyone's
yeah.
favorite.
Just zooming through the waters, you know. And other than that, sa mga sinabi ninyo,
Yes.
all of those water sports, what else can we do here?
Good question. So actually, if you're tired of the sea, you can go enjoy our amenities at 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏 Water Park, which is within the beach town or the resort estate here. We have a 3-story water slide that's super fast, and I think you also got to try that.
Yes, of course.
And then, of course, when you want to wind down at night, we have our accommodations. We have crusoe cabins, which are our repurposed container vans, and our cocoons, which are our upcycled drainage pipes.
The crucio is something out of the box, no? Nung nakita ko sa labas, it felt like pag pumasok ako, medyo mainit. But when I got in, it felt like a different universe. You know, one of those magic tents.
Yeah.
Pagpasok mo pala, iba pala yun nandun sa loob.
Very modern siya sa loob. So actually, it looks rustic on the outside, but when you go inside, it's like a 1-bedroom apartment, complete with a mini kitchenette, your bathroom, and of course, your bedroom. So it ensures you a comfortable but very modern stay naman.
And one of the things na tumatak sa akin, Ms. Janine, was yung sinabi kanina ni President Eric.
Yes.
This place was made to create memories.
That's true, that's true.
So, what do you think here creates the most memories, allows us?
Well, of course, memories is really attached to the people who you travel with. That's the essence of travel. And what we do here is just really to create the stage for those experiences.
May nabanggit kanina that was kind of new to me. You said
Yes.
that this resort was the first to ever get the EDGE certification.
Yes.
What does EDGE mean and what does it stand for?
So EDGE is a sustainability certification that we got from the World Bank, actually. So it certifies that each crusoe cabin, you have 20% savings in water, in energy, electricity, so that, you know, it's more of a guilt-free stay. You're kind of contributing to the earth even if you're trying to make memories with your family.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You make sure of that talaga.
Yeah. We like to think things through.
Yeah. And syempre, hindi pwedeng mawala sa atin yung mga pagkain.
Of course.
Nakita ko ang daming restaurants.
Yeah.
From the left side to the right side.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about that?
So we have a Filipino all-day dining restaurant called The Sands, and then we have our own in-house brand called 𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗲, which serves American fare. And of course, littered along the boardwalk are some food trucks and a very nice picturesque coffee stand called 𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 overlooking the beach.
That's amazing. So kapag ka nandito ka, different palates can also be welcomed, no?
Correct. And actually, we have a lot of other amenities also for different uses. So if you can see behind us, the canopy is an event tent. So we have a lot of weddings and team buildings also that come over for the day because we are so near Manila. Island hopping is one of our activities that we offer, and it really takes you around to see the other parts of Calatagan. You get to visit Starfish Island, a sandbar, and something that the locals call Little Boracay, because it's very reminiscent of Boracay's clear blue waters and fine white sand.
There's also snorkeling, right?
There is snorkeling there. You can go see a lot of starfishes and a lot of other fish.
So what are your current newest developments here na nangyari ngayon?
Good question. Actually, we're proud to announce that we've just constructed a lighthouse.
Wow.
It's a viewing deck, and it actually goes back to the roots of Calatagan, because Calatagan was one of the first coastal towns with the oldest lighthouse called Cape Santiago. So this one is actually very meaningful to us, because this one symbolizes also our mark, the mark that we made here in Calatagan with CaSoBe.
Just to think of this whole place is actually big.
It is. It's 15 hectares big, and we are also actually selling lots. So now that Millennial Resorts, one of our sister companies, has put up these accommodations, there is an inflow of tourist traffic already. So it's actually primed for the business. If you want to put up anything that services the tourism business, the tourism industry, that's a perfect blank canvas for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
So is there any way for them to actually contact you or reach you out?
Definitely. You can message us through info@landco.ph and through our hotlines at 8836-5000.
This has been Tim Figueroa for Open for Business!
Mga kabarangay! Araw-araw bibisita tayo sa iba't ibang barangay para ibigay ang everything for everyone.
Ngayong linggo, kakatukin natin ang mga kabarangay natin Bulakenyo sa Bulacan, Bulacan. Lunes, nariyan kami sa Barangay May Santol.
Martes, makikigulo tayo sa barangay Baluban.
Miyerkules, magkakatuwaan tayo sa Barangay Pitpitan.
Huwebes, makikisaya tayo sa barangay Perez.
Biyernes, papasyal naman tayo sa Barangay Bagong Bayan.
Susuyurin natin ang Bulacan para makipagkwentuhan, tawanan at mamigay ng papremyo sa mga kabarangay.
Kaya't magkita-kita tayo riyan at sama-sama nating batiin ang umaga with love
Tonibet
and everything! Kabarangay nyo!
Let's get together. Sunday 25. Sunday 25.
Investing in beachfront or seaside properties offers more than just a home. It's an investment in a lifestyle for lifetimes. These properties not only provide stunning views and access to the beach, but also offer a possible legacy for generations to come by the increasing value of the property. It's also a nod into the future as environmentally sound practices are applied in the development of these beach towns. Think about the opportunities that wait as you frolic in the sand. And with that, our quote of the week is from Andrew Carnegie. He said, 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. Thank you very much, Eric, at maraming salamat sa isang oras na pagsama sa amin upang tunghayan ng isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli dito sa Open for Business. Catch us too on Facebook, YouTube. Like and subscribe on our social media page at Net25TV. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen, feel the pulse, and set the trend for as long as you are informed and open for business. Ito po si 𝗙𝗶𝗴𝗙𝗲𝗲. Marami pong salamat. Mga ka-Net25, this is 𝗙𝗶𝗴𝗏𝗏 of Open for Business. For more updates, just click the subscribe button and follow us on Net25 social media pages at Net25TV and at Net25 Entertainment Facebook pages.